Welcome back to the show. I'm David Pakman. A lot of emails to get to, and please send us your comments, radio@midweekpolitics.com, and you can also email us from our website, midweekpolitics.com. Last week, we interviewed Paul Cameron, the violently gay Paul Cameron, who says, if we repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell, all of a sudden, all of the homosexuals will be raping other soldiers, and he went really even further than that, I would say, and said a whole bunch of other stuff, even comparing drug use to homosexual addiction. They're basically the same. There's a percentage of people addicted to both, and that's basically it. The interview went somewhat viral. It's gotten like over 4,000 YouTube views, articles in the Huffington Post, and 8 other blogs and websites. And the feedback from it has been, of course, the people that agree with my position, but there have also been those who agree with Paul Cameron. And I'll go through a bunch of these emails. And of course, you can email us as well, radio@midweekpolitics.com. Mitch says, I've never heard your show before, but I just listened to the Paul Cameron interview. I appreciate the fact that you had him on. It was a revelation to find that dinosaurs still roam the earth. I believe he currently holds the double chair of tinfoil hat studies, as well as serapaleontology at the College of the Parallel Universe. Charles says, I was never so disgusted with the comments made by Paul Cameron regarding the removing of Don't Ask, Don't Tell restrictions on gays. If what he said was true, then I believe that England would be having more problems with gays in that situation than any other country. Another email. I love those little laughs every time your guest says something nutty. It diffuses my desire to reach through the network cable and smite him. Another email. People forget that gays already serve in the military. They just aren't allowed to tell you they're gay under Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. Allowing honesty among soldiers might be better for all. And I say I agree. And a lot of comments suggesting Paul Cameron himself is actually a homosexual. Here's one comment. He is most likely a latent homosexual and probably surfs tea rooms. I don't know what tea rooms are. He's most likely like Larry Craig, a self-hating homosexual.
Let me be clear. I am not gay. I never have been gay.
And then obviously also a lot of feedback from people saying just by having him on, I am somehow validating his position. And we've talked about this a lot. Here's one example. Why would anyone waste their time talking to Paul Cameron? He's been censured and kicked out of every respected psychological organization for his distortions and outright hate for gay people. I agree. We've talked about this a lot, Lewis, which is this is a radio show and we want stuff to talk about. And if we only talked about stuff that we agreed with and thought was the most valid and academically legit stuff, it would be a pretty boring show, would it not?
I think so.
So, yes, I had Paul Cameron on. Yes, if nobody gave him airtime, he would be less well known. But I can't imagine that he's going to end up looking better as a result of being on this show, not judging from the emails, which were 10-1 against Paul Cameron. And this is the same thing. If we talk about Rush Limbaugh, are we putting Rush Limbaugh up on a pedestal? I don't know. I believe we are going to continue to have on controversial guests. I enjoy talking to them, and I think the audience enjoys it too. Also, a question from our TV audience. Why am I always messing with the red switches to my left? These are the volumes for the show, and I control Lewis's volume, and that has to be really closely monitored because at any point he could go completely crazy. If I play stuff off of our computer, like Jessica Simpson talking about tuna.
Is this chicken what I have, or is this fish?
I control that here. These are the controls for the show. So that's what that is. No conspiracies or anything. I can cut people off here, but we usually let our. I don't think we're too rough with our guests in cutting them off, are we?
No. How skilled Dave is with those controls is still in question, but that's what they are.
That is what they are. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with more next week. Midweekpolitics.com is the website. radio@midweekpolitics.com.
This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
This episode of Midweek Politics has been made possible in part by Just Coffee Cooperative, fair trade coffee from around the world roasted daily at justcoffee.coop.